Hello, this is the TradeSite U.S. Stocks and Futures preview for Wednesday, the 17th of June, 2020. This would be potentially options unraveling in the week of triple expiration. So what that means is Friday is the expiration date for all of our options, the quarterly expiration. Somewhere between Wednesday, usually maybe Thursday, we'll get the unraveling move where they'll close out the trades that are going to expire, get them off the books, and roll into the later contracts, either the Julys or the Septembers, depending if they're looking at a 1 month or a 3 month outlook. So usually get an options unraveling move, especially in triple expiration weeks. We usually start after the first hour's play. As we teach, we'll walk through it in the lab if it happens. Here's a look at the ES front month futures contract. This is the daily chart of the broad market and futures form. This was not a very exciting day. It was actually the most interesting thing was to hear Rich say he didn't even write a ticket, which means he didn't even place a single trade the whole day on the stock side. I don't know that you ever get that out of Rich. That's how bad it was. We'll look at the intraday action in a few minutes. We did gap up and then sat. There was a dip. We made a little money on a couple calls, including an Uber short that was a 13 sell signal intraday, and also an NVIDIA call that worked a little bit on a dip early on that filled the gap, but then we came right back to where we started and sat there the rest of the day. So let's go through the major daily charts. Crude oil down 67 cents to set 37.71. Gold down 40 cents. No big deal there. S&P cash gains 58.15. Again, a lot of it was a gap. The NASDAQ 100 up 172. It actually closed lower than it opened. Think about that. That's how big the gap was. But you can see by that candle we closed just under, but basically right where we opened. That's why it was such a boring day. SOX up 34.68. Biotech's up 61.81. Russell 2000 up 32.65. The VIX loses 73 cents. The trend closes at 0.78. 10-day moving average at 1.13. NASDAQ volume 4.6 billion shares, which is decent. Advanced decline ratio on the NASDAQ plus 1612. So more stocks up than down. On the New York plus 1823. Google gains $25.73. Look at that, right up against that risk line that is still in play from the 13 sell signal. So we're still operating on a sell signal on the daily chart of Google. Apple up $9.09, also still operating on a sell signal. Netflix up 1063. This should be 12. So one more day up will give you a 13 sell signal in Netflix as well. Amazon up 42.59. It's one of the few FANG stocks that doesn't have a 13 sell signal. Pretty rare to see all this. Tesla, the high of the day, is the risk line again from the 13 sell signal that's in place there. And Facebook has a 13 sell signal still in place. So even though most of these stocks were up for the day, they're all still operating, and it's very rare to see all of these stocks like this have these signals. So just keep that in mind. That's quite interesting. Goldman Sachs up $3.28, but it opened much higher. TLT, the 20-year bond ETF, up $2. I'm down $2.49. The Dow was up just over 500 points. In terms of intraday action, here's what happened, right? The gap up, we're flat for the first hour. The Fed chair makes some comments. The market gets spooked, drops pretty quick to almost fill the gap, but then rebounds halfway back to that. And then the rest of the day is just completely flat. Nothing goes on. NASDAQ side looks exactly the same. All right, in terms of economic data coming out on Wednesday, we've got housing starts and building permits an hour before the bell. Crude oil inventories an hour into the market. Fed Chair Powell testifies again at noon Eastern time. And that is it. So again, we'll be looking for that options unraveling move after the first hour's play. We'll walk you through it if it happens, see what comes up in the scans overnight. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks. Have a great trading Wednesday.